Good morning, everybody.
Good morning,
Hi,
sir.
sir.
Good morning. So, we start today's class on a somber note. I'm very sorry to inform you that 3 days back we lost Dr. Zareem Mam's father, Ahmad Umar Farooq Saab. He was a very distinguished Alig, and he studied in Aligarh in 60s, and then he was very active on the sports front during his student days, and later on he continued to remain associated with the university in various capacities, especially as member of the AMU court. And he belonged to a very illustrious family of Aligarh, which has contributed significantly to AMU. His father, Professor Hafizuddin, was Dean of Faculty of Law and a very distinguished teacher of the university. Then his elder brother, Professor Rashidu Zafar, was associated with Department of Civil Engineering of Aligarh. And in fact, now his younger brother is presently the Vice Chancellor of AMU, Professor Tariq Mansoor. So he belonged to a very illustrious family of Aligarh, which has contributed very significantly to AMU in various ways. So before we begin today's class, I request each one of you to please observe, silent prayer for the departed soul. So each one of us can pray for his deliverance for next 2 minutes in your own way, and then we shall formally resume the class. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you very much for observing the silence for 2 minutes. Now we start the class proceedings. Can we request Lalit to start the presentation, because he shall provide the recap of the previous class.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Lalit, please.
So, am I audible?
Yes, very much.
Good morning, all of you. Myself, Lalit Sikarwar. Today, I am going to present recap of last class. It will be presented in three parts. First, comparison of hard and soft model of leadership. Second, leadership as taking stand. Third, conclusion comment, that is analogies of leadership. We have discussed two models of leadership. First, hard model. It is elaborated by Robert Greene book, that is 48 Laws of Power. Second, soft model, which is elaborated by Chinese parables. Hard model, leader is distant, non-emotional. He uses balcony view for scanning. But in the soft model, leader is part of crowd and take low quotes like river. As per hard model, leader is a dominance game. Dominance is established by mind, as by mind only war begins or ends. Dominance break others' spirit to rule over them, like Hitler, where fear established leadership. On the other hand, in the soft model, leaders search for the common ground, but there is a difference of opinion. It is the leader's job to reach the common point. Common ground is reached through opening heart the people. That is the real leader in the soft model. In hard model, leaders are apart from the crowd and have passion, but they are part of crowd in soft model and have compassion. As per hard model, leader rule with the head and compete. Their focus is on getting, but in the soft model, they collaborate and rule with heart. Also, their focus is on giving. We also discussed leadership as taking stand. Leadership sound like solitary and lonely activity. When and how to take a stand require collaboration. Sometimes taking too many stands as a leader silence you. For example, if we see Gandhiji, he never wanted India's partition, but when it happened, he accepted and not able to take a stand. After the recap, I will tell about the concluding comment, that are analogies of leadership. First is leadership as slow boring of hardboards. Especially soft model is not easy to follow. Another analogy is leadership as a midwifery. That is, midwife is to encourage, inspire, and empower others in difficult situation as like leader. Third one is leader as a shepherd. This is the most important powerful idea. Like shepherd, leader also manage, give direction, and save them from danger. In soft model, most important consideration, leader should not take oneself seriously. He should consider existence of higher order. He should focus on efforts, not result. It makes him polite and humble. Other words also used like masculine and feminine for hard and soft model. But it is irony. There is no gender bias, as we can see. Indira Gandhi, being a female, she used hard model. But if we see Nelson Mandela in South Africa, being male, he used a softer approach. So there is no gender bias. It is the personal orientation of a person which matters. Sometimes it is situation specific. Also, every situation increase area of influence by winning the heart of the people. So at last, I want to say that soft model can be used in the long run. Thank you.
Thank you, Lalit. Can we listen to now Osama?
Yes, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, very much, Osama.
Okay. Good morning, sir. Mohammad Osama Akhtar here to give the recap of previous class held on 6th of May. Before starting it, on behalf of our class, let me pass our deepest condolences on the recent demise of Zareen's ma'am father and various other university employees, and pray that Allah eases the pain of their families and this hard time shall pass soon. Also, we would like to thank to our faculties who are giving their best to maintain the daily classes amidst all this chaos. Sorry, sir.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, sir.
That's a very good gesture on your part.
Yes. So, coming to the recap, you started the class by summing up the previous lectures on the two models of leadership. That is hard model referred by Dr. Green's book 48 Laws of Power, and the soft model by Chinese parables. In the hard model, the leader is above all and has a balcony view approach, meaning that the leader is distant from the mass. It is based on dominance, and the leader always wants to dominate, like Hitler. The soft model can be understood by the analogy of a river taking low course, because then only one can become deeper and broader. In this, one has to be with the crowd and search for common ground to work on, like Gandhiji did by garnering the love of motherland in every individual, irrespective of caste, creed, and religion, thus presenting a united front against the British. The hard model is a mind game where everything is won and lost in mind, whereas the soft model is based on heart. Sir told us a couplet that वो अदाए दिलबरी है कि नवाए आशिकाना, जो दिलों को फतह कर ले वही फतेह ज़माना, meaning that one with grace, loving sound, and heart-sealing manners would be the true ruler of the time and world. The hard model deals with passion, whereas soft deals with compassion. You gave the example of Mandela, who was forced to spend 26 years of his life in jail, and when he came out and later became the president, he could have easily taken the revenge. But out of compassion, he chooses his country first, and today South Africa as a nation is a prosperous one, whereas Hitler was filled with passion and asserted leader principle with himself as its apex, and thus banning everything which came in his way, or which came in his way as an obstacle, and which sadly resulted to the demise of his empire. And also you said that taking stand as a leader is also very important, and one should know when to take a stand or not. You gave the example of Gandhiji, as he didn't say anything about the partition. He wasn't happy with it, but he did so for the greater good, as that it could have hampered the freedom struggle. Taking a stand alone could be very lonely, and one should do so without showing his moral superiority and being stubborn or self-righteous. The most important difference between both the model is getting and giving. In the hard model, one ought to gain as much as possible, whereas in soft model, one gives more than he gains. Just like you gave the example of river, where the river gives us a lot more than what it takes. You also told about the leadership of, discussed the book Leadership of Muhammad, authored by John Adair, where he reflects that how a lot of prophets were shepherds at some time, and a leader should be like this, looking over and taking care of everyone's psyche, and should be patient. One shouldn't take himself for granted and adhere to Nishkam Karma, focusing on efforts and not on results. Whereas Peter Drucker said that the leadership is not about being liked, it is defined by results and not attributes. The hard and soft models are also preferred sometimes as masculine and feminine model. Sir put up a fact that how generally males try to dominate, whereas females tend to be more compassionate. Though this thought has evolved over time and now one follows the path based on his own mind and not on gender, as it seems that females in position of leadership behave as men, like Indira Gandhi or Margaret Thatcher, whereas men can be compassionate and humble in roles like our Prophet Muhammad or Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. In the end, Sir concluded that the soft model is not easy, as it asks for a lot of sacrifices, but it prevails in the long run. I would end this with a couplet that खुदा महफूज रखे इश्तिहारे रहनुमाई से, इसी मंजिल पे आके आदमी दीवाना होता है. Thank you.
Very good. So these were very good recaps, both by Lalit and Osama, and they captured the content very effectively. And Lalit was very brief and precise, to the point. And maybe just he needs to work a bit on his pronunciation and diction, especially the pronunciation of word S. There seems to be some problem in that. So otherwise, when your flow of English language improves, you will be even more effective communicator. The content was arranged in a very, very effective manner, and in a very, very precise and crisp manner. That was the good part of your presentation. And Osama, you also did a very good job. And It was very thoughtful of you that you started on that note. And this is what we call a good speaker is always context sensitive. He or she understands the context. So you started that presentation with that note. That was a very good gesture on your part. And then the ideas were also presented very effectively. Maybe some issues when especially you read out the couplets. So every language has its own nuances, and sometimes, because we have studied, many of us have studied in English medium, so we tend to pronounce English language correctly, but our diction of our own mother tongue may not be that well. So especially that couplet of Allama Iqbali which you recited, that required a bit more force and correct pronunciation, I would say. तो वो नवाए दिलबरी हो कि नवाए आशिकाना, वो नवाए दिलबरी हो कि नवाए आशिकाना, जो दिलों को फतह कर ले वही फातह ज़माना. So pronunciation, when you use a couplet, it changes the mood. So its delivery matters a lot. That is what I would suggest. And your last couplet was also very good, Usama. Which can you repeat it again? Usama, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Can you repeat that couplet which you shared in the end?
Yes, sir. इट वॉज ने खुदा महफूज रखे इश्तिहारे रहनुमाई से, इसी मंजिल पे आके आदमी दीवाना होता है.
वेरी गुड.
थैंक यू सर.
So now today we shall carry out one more discussion regarding leadership, and that is, we are studying leadership in the context of being a good manager. So ultimately this entire course concept of management has been designed to help us understand what it takes to be a good manager, isn't it? So is it so that all leaders, all managers are good leaders? Or all good leaders are managers too? What is your view on this? Are they the same persons?
Yes, sir. I think so.
So what it takes to be a manager and what it takes to be a leader? And are these overlapping circles?
So sometimes they are overlapping, sometimes they are not overlapping.
They are not overlapping. So when they are not overlapping, what is the difference that leaders have? And what are the unique characteristics of managers?
So managers are always following SOPs while leaders are not.
Okay, so managers follow SOPs. Managers follow SOPs. That's a very important point. Actually, managers and anybody else, I think, Kamran, I will come back to this point of SOP, which is a very important point. But let me listen to a few more. Somebody commented on the chat box. What was that comment? Can that person repeat? I could not read that.
So I was saying all leaders are good managers, but all managers might not be good leaders.
All leaders are always good managers? Okay. I don't know, but let's your observation. So being a leader is a subset
Yeah, I think
of
it's
management.
opposite.
Okay. So leader is something which is a bigger entity, and then in that comes the role of the manager also. That's what
Yes, sir. Sir,
come
yes,
out.
leadership is a broader aspect, sir.
Leadership is a broader. Actually, it is like this. In fact, this issue was addressed by one of a very powerful leader, a powerful writer on leadership. His name is Zalesnik. And he wrote an article way back in 1977 in Harvard Business Review. And the title of the article was Managers and Leaders, Are They Different? So that was the question that he raised, and I shall begin with what observation Kamran has made. It's a very pertinent observation that managers follow SOPs. What are SOPs? SOPs are standard operating procedures. So every organization has a standard operating procedure. Isn't it? So for example, we have our own department and we have our own SOPs for various things. I'll come to this point also, mentoring done by the leaders. Please remind me if I do not make a comment on it. So the point that I was making is that when a person joins an organization, he accepts the organizational reality. Isn't it? So for example, when I joined the organization as a young lecturer, I was supposed to work for the organization. And the organization was in existence for more than 25 years then. So there were certain tasks that were to be performed. There was a process which Kamran calls SOPs that were to be followed, how the classes were to be engaged, when the courses were to be finished, and all that. And I accepted that. So one thing, in fact, I would like to make a bigger point than what Kamran has said, that every organization has certain goals to accomplish. And when a person joins the organization, the manager in him accepts those goals. He doesn't question the goals. And he follows the standing operating procedure to reach to those goals. And that is how he works. So actually, manager strives for stability in the organization. And he doesn't question the goals that have already been set and that the organization intends to achieve. And he becomes, as they call, he becomes one of the cog in the wheel. There's a wheel which is already moving and you fit into that wheel. That is the manager. Now, as opposed to that, what leaders do? Do they accept the goals? Just like that? Without questioning them?
They are much more creative and their work is to deviate from SOPs.
Yes. I'll have to connect it to the PowerPoint. Just hold on for it. Yes. So, as opposed to that, The leader in the person questions the existing order. So while managers strive to be status quoist, they accept the goals as given, they don't question them. The leader in the person questions them. And creates fresh goals. And that is the basic difference between being a manager and being a leader. In the previous classes, when we were discussing leadership, we talked about the three roles that leaders are called upon to play. One was problem solving. That's a typical managerial role that leaders engage in. जो ब्यूरोक्रेसी के लिए भी ट्रेनिंग होती है, हमारे एक ब्यूरोक्रेट दोस्त हैं, वो कहते हैं कि हमें बस ये बताया जाता था कि भाई देखिए व्यवस्था बनाए रखिए. तो जो सिस्टम है, जो व्यवस्था है, उसको आपको मेंटेन करके चलना है. दैट इज द रोल ऑफ द मैनेजर. लेकिन उसी में से कुछ ऐसे लोग निकलते हैं जो उस व्यवस्था को क्वेश्चन करते हैं. वो कहते हैं भाई ऐसा क्यों है, क्यों ना ऐसा हो. दे क्वेश्चन एंड देन जैसे एक हमने कहीं जुमला पढ़ा था कि द रीजनेबल मैन अडैप्ट्स हिमसेल्फ टू द वर्ल्ड, द अनरीजनेबल मैन इंसिस्ट्स ऑन चेंजिंग इट. Therefore, all progress depends on unreasonableness. So it is the unreasonableness of the manager which makes him the leader. Because when you want to create a difference, the second role which we have discussed, then you disturb the existing equilibrium. You rub people maybe in the wrong way. By and large, people are status quoist. So leader in the person, when he comes up with fresh approaches, he creates a dissonance in the system. हलचल पैदा कर देता. That हलचल may be for the good, or it may be for the sometimes chaos. So leaders do tend to create a chaos in the system because they question everything. अब इसमें जो आपका कॉन्सेप्शन ऑफ वर्क है वो भी डिफरेंट होता है. मैनेजर के लिए लीडरशिप जो काम है वो एक इनेबलिंग प्रोसेस है कि भाई हम इससे अपने गोल्स तक पहुंचे. दैट्स ऑल. ये करना है, बिल्कुल सेट है भाई, हमें ऐसे पढ़ाना है, ऐसे इम्तहान लेना है, ऐसे फाइनली फिर बच्चों को डिग्रियां इशू होंगी. तो आप एक तो बहुत गोल्स के सिलसिले में इम्पर्सनल एटीट्यूड रखते हैं, आप उसको क्वेश्चन नहीं करते. लेकिन जब आप एज लीडर ऑपरेट करते हैं और आप उन गोल्स को क्वेश्चन करते हैं तो डिस्टर्बेंस होता है. तो कौन से लोग आपके साथ आते हैं? अगर आपका जो नया कॉन्सेप्ट है वो उनको इंगेज करता है या उनको इंस्पायर करता है. देखिए मैनेजर्स कैसे काम लेते हैं? मैनेजर्स काम लेते हैं थ्रू द जुडिशियस यूज ऑफ रिवॉर्ड्स एंड पनिशमेंट. हर सिस्टम में मैनेजर्स के पास कुछ रिवॉर्ड्स होते हैं और कुछ सैंक्शंस होते हैं. तो भाई ये करोगे तो तुम्हें ये मिलेगा, तुम ये नहीं करोगे तो ये तुम्हारा नुकसान हो सकता है. तो मैनेजर जो है वो कैरेट और स्टिक, एक टिपिकल जो कैरेट और स्टिक वाली अप्रोच होती है कि कुछ को ही हैज ए समथिंग डैंगलिंग इन फ्रंट ऑफ देम कि ये करोगे तो ये मिल जाएगा. लेकिन लीडर में ऐसा नहीं होता. लीडर जो है वो एक अंदर से आदमी के अंदर एक इंस्पिरेशन पैदा करता. जब गांधी जी ने कहा कि मैं डांडी मार्च करने जा रहा हूं, उन्होंने ये नहीं कहा कि आप मेरे साथ आइए. He said, I'm going to break the salt law. And he goes all alone. But what happens? The entire humanity follows him. क्योंकि he created such an inspiration in others कि अगर आज हमने नमक बना लिया और salt law को तोड़ दिया तो हमें आजादी मिल जाएगी. Now this was such a powerful idea कि इसमें रिवॉर्ड और पनिशमेंट की जरूरत नहीं है कि हर आदमी जो मेरे साथ धरने पे आएगा उसको 100 रुपए मिलेंगे पर डे के हिसाब. क्योंकि जो लोग फॉलो कर रहे थे उनको उस वक्त, वो उस आइडिया से इंस्पायर्ड थे. तो अगर मैं कहूँ कि जो जिस तरह से काम लेने का अंदाज होता है वो भी फिर अलग हो जाता है मैनेजर का. मैनेजर जो है वो मोटिवेट करता है थ्रू रिवॉर्ड्स एंड पनिशमेंट. लीडर इंस्पायर करता है बिकॉज ऑफ द ग्रैंड आइडिया विच ही प्रेजेंट बिफोर अदर्स. आप महसूस करते हैं कि वो जो कितना इसमें लीडर्स बड़े उनकी जो इमेजरी है या जो इमेजरी वो क्रिएट करते हैं वो भी बड़ा उसका रोल है. देखिए आप गौर कीजिए उसी दांडी मार्च का जिसका मैं हवाला दे रहा हूं. नमक जैसी सादी चीज अगर आप फ्रीडम से लिंक कर दें, how it ignites the passions in others. Can you just visualize?
So it is used by everyone. That's why they are connecting with the freedom.
Yes, एक तो नमक ऐसी चीज है कि हर आदमी इस्तेमाल करता है. और उस इतनी सादी सी चीज को आप इतने बड़े आइडिया से लिंक कर दें. Can you imagine how it ignites the imaginations and passions of the people? इसीलिए इसी के लिए वो शेर किसी ने कहा है कि मैं अकेला ही चला था जानिबे मंजिल मगर लोग साथ आते गए और कारवां बनता गया. तो लीडर के अंदर वो खूबी है कि वो अकेला चल देता है. वो ये नहीं कहता है कि आओ बसें भर भर के आओ और ये बसें तुम्हारे लिए फ्री अरेंज की गई हैं. The way political rallies are held nowadays. लीडर तो चल देता और जो उसके आइडिया से मुतासिर होते हैं वो उसके साथ चलना शुरू कर देते हैं और इस तरह से एक पूरा कारवां बन जाता है. तो his relations with his followers is very different than the manager-subordinate relationships. Isn't it? अच्छा, लीडर के अंदर ये चीज आती कहां से है कि वो फ्रेश अप्रोचेस की बात करता है? इस बात को भी समझने की जरूरत है. उसी आर्टिकल में जिसका मैंने हवाला दिया ज़ालेज़निक के आर्टिकल का, उसमें वो एक आइडिया फ्लोट करता है. वो कहता है कि मैनेजर्स आर वंस बॉर्न, लीडर्स आर ट्वाइस बॉर्न. अगर आप इस पर गौर कीजिए कि ये क्या आइडिया है. मैनेजर्स आर वंस बॉर्न while leaders are twice born. What could be the meaning of this? Can we have some opinions on this? What does it mean? Being once born and being twice born?
The second birth might be related to the realization when a person makes light that he has the potential to make the change and to bring the change, and that people may follow him, that he is right in his approach. Might be second birth. Second birth might be related to that.
Okay. تو آپ کہہ رہے ہیں کہ جب اس کو احساس ہوتا ہے کہ وہ چینج لا سکتا ہے، وہ ایک اس کے لیے نئی زندگی ہوتی ہے، ری برتھ ہوتا ہے.
Sir, I think it's about adaptability. Managers once adapt to the organization, but when leaders engage in a change, he is not a similar person he was before bringing that change.
اسی آرٹیکل میں جس میں اس کا میں حوالہ دے رہا ہوں، اس میں زالزنی کہتے ہیں کہ لیڈرز مینیجرز آر پارٹ آف دی آرگنائزیشن. لیڈرز آر مینیجرز آر پارٹ آف دی آرگنائزیشن. اور لیڈرز کے لیے وہ کہتا ہے کہ دے مے بی پارٹ آف دی آرگنائزیشن بٹ دے ڈو ناٹ بلانگ ٹو اٹ. کہیں نہ کہیں جو لیڈر کے کنسرنس ہیں وہ تھوڑا آرگنائزیشن سے بڑے ہوتے ہیں. دیکھیے گاندھی جی جو تھے وہ زیادہ تر کانگریس کے لوگ ان کو کے ساتھ تھے، لیکن کیا گاندھی جی کانگریس تھے؟ ہم نے انہیں مہاتما کا ٹائٹل کیوں دیا؟ کیونکہ کہیں نہ کہیں وہ اس پارٹی سے بڑے ہو گئے تھے، بڑے تھے جو فریڈم اسٹرگل کو اسپر ہیڈ کر. Are you able to appreciate this point of being once born and twice born? The idea over here is that leaders at some stage of their life they experience a rebirth. اس کو آپ بہت سے اس سے استعمال اس میں اصطلاحیں یوز کر سکتے ہیں، جیسے these are their moments of truth. جب انہیں احساس ہوتا ہے کہ کچھ کرنا چاہیے یا کچھ بدلاؤ آنا چاہیے. اور وہ ہر لیڈر کی لائف میں آتے ہیں. جب آپ ان کی ہسٹری پڑھیں گے، جیسے میں نے جب when I was talking about Sir Syed, I told you about the plight of Muslims which he saw when he came to Delhi. Not only at a macro level, but at a micro level. He saw her mother hiding in a stable and surviving on the fodder for the horses. گاندھی جی کے لیے وہ مومنٹ آف ٹروتھ تب آیا تھا جب ان کو ریلوے کمپارٹمنٹ سے باہر پھینک دیا گیا ڈسپائٹ ہولڈنگ اے ویلڈ ٹکٹ. آپ آج اپارتھیڈ اور ان سب کی بات کرتے ہیں، تو ایک تو اپارتھیڈ کو آپ پڑھیں کتابوں سے، ایک آپ کو بیکاز آف دا کلر آف یور اسکن یو آر ککڈ آؤٹ آف دا کمپارٹمنٹ. کین یو فیل دا ڈفرنس؟ اس دن گاندھی جی کو احساس ہوا ہوگا کہ انجسٹس کیا ہو. تو ہر لیڈر کی زندگی میں ایک ایسا وقت آتا ہے جب وہ ایک نیا جنم لیتا ہے، اور جب اسے یہ احساس ہوتا ہے کہ نہیں، دس وے اٹ کین ناٹ کنٹینیو. and I have to do something. تو لیڈر جو ہے، میں نے ایک اس سے پہلے بھی شاید آپ کے ساتھ یہ شیئر کیا تھا عرفان صدیقی کا. وہ کہتے ہیں کہ دو جگہ رہتے ہیں ہم، ایک تو وہ شہر ملال جس پہ آدمی افسوس کرے، وہ شہر جس پہ ملال کرے، افسوس کرے. دو جگہ رہتے ہیں ہم، ایک تو وہ شہر ملال، دوسرا وہ ہے جو خوابوں میں سجائے ہوئے. تو ہر لیڈر کے کچھ مقدس خواب ہوتے ہیں جو اب وہ کیسے بنتے ہیں اس کا ایک بہت الگ پروسیس ہے، اس پہ بہت ڈیٹیل ڈسکشن یہاں نہیں ہو سکتا. لیکن آپ ہر لیڈر کی جب لائف ہسٹری پڑھیں گے تو آپ کو یہ احساس ہوگا کہ یہ شخص جو تھا ہی ہیڈ اے پائس ڈسسیٹسفیکشن ود دا وے تھنگس ور گوئنگ اینڈ he realizes that we cannot continue like this. Some change has to occur. So a leader actually is a rebel, but he is a very pious rebel. He is not one who وہاں پھر وہ سافٹ ماڈل آف لیڈرشپ آ جاتا ہے، وہ پرسویٹ کرتا ہے اور لوگوں کو اس جو خواب ہے اس کا دوسرا خواب، جس کے لیے دیکھیے عرفان صدیقی نے کتنا خوبصورت لفظ استعمال کیا ہے، جو خوابوں میں سجائے ہوئے، جس کو اس نے سنجو رکھا ہے اپنی ذات میں، وہ دوسروں سے شیئر کرتا ہے اور کہتا ہے کہ ہمیں وہاں چلنا. That is how you inspire others. So, manager is a copycat. Leader is a classic, unique soldier. He has no other replica. And that is the beauty of the leader. اب ایک لاسٹ سوال جس پہ ہم لوگ we will end our discussion, and also I will request you in the meanwhile to suggest me 2 names for those who shall present the recap of this class tomorrow. کہ مینیجر کیسے پیدا ہوتا ہے اور لیڈر کیسے پیدا ہوتا ہے؟ Can we grow leaders in organization? ایک ہم بھی ایم بی اے کرا رہے ہیں آپ کو، تو ہمارا آئیڈیا یہ ہے کہ آپ مینیجر ہو جائیں گے، لیکن کیا آپ لیڈر بھی ہو جائیں گے؟ How leaders develop. اور یہاں میں نے آپ سے ابھی کسی نے ایک بہت اچھا ڈسکس کیا تھا، وہ چیٹ باکس میں لکھا تھا یا آئی ڈونٹ نو، مینٹرنگ والا جو پارٹ. مینیجرز کو تو آپ کلاس روم انوائرمنٹ میں ڈیولپ کر سکتے ہیں یا آرگنائزیشنل انوائرمنٹ میں ڈیولپ کر سکتے ہیں کہ ٹھیک ہے انہیں آن دا جاب ٹریننگ دیجیے، سکھائیے کیسے کام کیا جاتا ہے. لیکن لیڈرز کیسے ڈیولپ کرتے ہیں؟ کیا اس پروسیس سے لیڈرز کو ڈیولپ کیا جا سکتا ہے؟ How do we develop leaders? اور اس میں مینٹرنگ کا کیا رول ہے؟
Excuse me, sir.
So one doesn't become a leader in one day. He gradually learns from his life experiences, and as you said earlier in the class, that being a leader comes with a heavy price, and the one who is willing to pay that price would be a leader.
Yes, Rizwan, आप भी कुछ कह रहे थे.
Sir, I have a question. When we say development of a leader, what do we exactly mean by that? What does it mean, development of a leader?
देखिए, हम लोग सब चाहते हैं ना कि सोसाइटी में अच्छे बड़े लीडर्स हों, लेकिन आज की जो सोसाइटी है उसकी प्रॉब्लम क्या है. बल्कि मैं कहीं अमेरिका के बारे में पढ़ रहा था कि अमेरिका इज ओवर मैनेज्ड एंड अंडर लेड. मेरे ख्याल से बहुत सी सोसाइटीज के बारे में, इंक्लूडिंग इंडिया, ये बात कही जा सकती है कि we are over managed but we are under led. आप इस बात से इत्तेफाक करते हैं? Do you agree?
सर आई थिंक लीडर की लाइफ में दो चीजें बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होती हैं, विजन एंड पैशन. और ये चीज एक दिन में डेवलप तो होती नहीं है ना, क्लासरूम में डेवलप हो सकती है सर.
और देखिए, इसमें कहीं ना कहीं एक मेंटर का बड़ा रोल होता है. जैसे गांधी जी के डेवलपमेंट में गोखले ने बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले किया. जब आप किसी से एक 1-to-1, क्योंकि क्या होता है जब आप नई सोच को लेके आगे चलते हैं तो आपके जहन में खुद बहुत से डाउट्स होते हैं. आपको ये भी डाउट होता है कि मैं कर पाऊंगा कि नहीं कर पाऊंगा. फिर लीडरशिप जो है वो बड़ा फ्रस्ट्रेटिंग एक्सपीरियंस भी होता है, क्योंकि चीज़ें अक्सर आपके हिसाब से नहीं होती. तो यू नीड ए शोल्डर टू क्राई अपॉन. इसलिए आई थिंक इट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू have a mentoring approach to leadership. उसी अप्रोच से लीडरशिप डेवलप. और मुझे लगता है कि जब एक टर्बुलेंट कॉन्टेक्स्ट होता है, जैसे मैंने इससे पहले ही मिसाल दी थी कि देखिए यही डीएनए है सोसाइटी का. आप आज के क्रॉप ऑफ लीडर्स को देख लीजिए और इसके बरक्स आप नेशनल मूवमेंट की क्रॉप ऑफ लीडर्स को देखिए, क्या उन लोगों का स्टेचर था. तो बल्कि ये भी एक फर्क दोस्त निजालिज़नी ने बताया है कि मैनेजर्स हैव स्टेटस, लीडर्स हैव स्टेचर. और उनका स्टेचर जो है वो किसी चेयर से लिंक नहीं होता है. गांधी जी के पास कभी कोई चेयर नहीं रही, but he earned the title of Mahatma, क्योंकि उनका पर्सनल स्टेचर इतना हाई होता है कि वो दूसरे को मुतासिर करता है. मुतासिर से यहाँ मुराद इंस्पायर करनी. तो आई थिंक इट इज गुड टू अंडरस्टैंड द डिफरेंस बिटवीन मैनेजर्स, लीडर्स. वी ऑल नीड टू बी गुड मैनेजर्स नेचुरली, बट बीइंग कंटेंट with that is not enough. We have to grow the leader within each one of us, and each one of us is blessed with that potential. लेकिन जो लोग उस स्ट्रगल को बर्दाश्त कर पाते हैं, क्योंकि जैसे कहते हैं ना, क्रिएटिविटी is 1% इंस्पिरेशन, 99% परस्पिरेशन. सर सैयद के लिए बहुत आसान था ये सोच लेना कि एजुकेशन इज द पैनेशिया ऑफ ऑल इल्स, लेकिन उसके लिए उन्होंने पूरी जिंदगी फिर लगा दी. लीडर उससे बनता है जब आप अपने आप को किसी कॉज के लिए वक्फ करते. दैट इज व्हेन your leadership blossoms. Thank you very much. We have got one volunteer, Mohit, for the recap tomorrow. And
Sir,
yes,
called.
Wahab,
Yes, sir.
you want to present?
Sir, I already presented.
No, I want somebody who has not yet presented. Okay?
But
Because it's an assignment on which you are being evaluated. So everybody has to have a chance. Okay?
I already presented my recap on last week.
Then you need not. I want fresh. I want from amongst those who have not yet presented, because I want everybody should get an opportunity to present the recap. So you can mention it on the WhatsApp group. Those of you, in fact, one more volunteer. Okay?
Inshallah.
Thank you very much.